evening and welcome to MOCHA Talk. I'm Denise Bunning, and thanks to FAIR for creating this safe space for us to chit-chat about various monthly topics. As a former teacher, support group leader, and of course, food allergy mom, I'm thrilled that our December episode is Holiday Memories. It's that wonderful time of year that families and loved ones get together to celebrate faith, lives, or simply some time off of work. And with this year having had the impact it has on large gatherings and being without one another, we'd like to dedicate this episode to our favorite holiday memories. Whether you're able to be with the people closest to you physically or virtually, today we'll cherish all the special moments that we've had from seasons past and look forward together to a bright future. So cheers. And with that, I'm going to introduce tonight's guests. And then they are going to introduce themselves so that you can get to know them better. So our first guest is Jonathan Kane. Take it away, Jonathan.
Hey everybody, my name is Jonathan Kane. I'm the creative director at fairfoodallergy.org, and I'm super excited to be a part of this amazing episode of MOCHA Talk, talking about holiday memories. I like to think I'm a big advocate for the food allergy community. My whole goal here at foodallergy.org and FAIR is to make sure everyone has a seat at the table, everyone feels welcome, everyone can live their best life and celebrate life with food allergies, keeping the responsibility, taking away the fear. Let's just all celebrate, let's live, let's love, let's eat, but do it safely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Our next guest is Maddie Margao. Am I pronouncing that right?
Oh, it's Margao.
Margao, okay, let me do that again. Our next guest is Maddie Margao. Take it away, Maddie.
Hi everyone, my name is Madiana Margao, and I am the co-founder, current owner of Red Sprinkle Fashion Bootcamp, which happens to be a program that focuses on career options within creative industries. And I also am the owner and founder of Madi Cooks, where I provide healthy and quick food options and alternatives for the people on the go. So it's really amazing being here with you all, and I hope that I can offer, a plethora of information in regards to my holiday memories as well. So nice to meet you guys.
Wonderful. Our next guest is Priscilla Hernandez. Take it away, Priscilla.
Thank you. Well, first off, thanks so much, Denise and Jonathan and everybody over there for having me here today. I'm really excited about the conversation we're going to have. Just to give you a little background about myself professionally, I am the vice president of a nationally recognized organization that is dedicated to at-risk youth and their families. Prior to that, I worked in the California governor's office under the Schwarzenegger administration as a deputy. I have a long history of advocacy and public interest, but most recently, the biggest honor by far has been being part of the FAIR family. I'm on the board of the National Advisors for FAIR, and not just because of my background, but I'm definitely there because I am a mom. I'm a mom of a food allergy son, and my son, Zachy, I have two boys. One can eat everything under the sun, and the other one is the complete opposite, and that's Zachy, and he has a nut, shellfish, sesame, you name it, allergy, but we've managed to maintain a really healthy, positive lifestyle, and it has everything to do with groups like this and talking and being each other's support base.
Fantastic. You've got two boys, I've got two boys. My kids are older, 26 and 24, but food allergies is how I got involved with FAIR and being a mom and a support group leader and a teacher. So sharing the love and not reinventing the wheel, and tips and tricks, as I like to call it, are the wave of the future. So, but today we're going to talk about holidays. So let's get going. So my first question for you all, and we're going to go around and then everybody can answer, is going to be, what is your favorite holiday tradition memory from last year? And then the second part is then from your childhood. So the two parts. So Jonathan, take it away.
So my favorite memory from last year, which became a new tradition, actually is reflected in this very mug. I am a whiskey micro influencer on the old Instagrams. Follow me at Whiskey to Life. And last year I created a cocktail that I called the Candy Cane cocktail. It is chocolate mint, and specifically this exact bourbon which is a 4 rows single barrel made with the OBSF recipe, not to get too technical, but it's one of the only bourbons on the market that has a mint aftertaste, which is a mint note. So it created this amazing, very unique, very specific, very Christmas in a cup cocktail that I just love. You get chocolate, mint, and bourbon. It warms the soul. So literally every year now, it's from last year to this year, I cherish the time waiting for it to get chilly enough in LA to, make a mug of hot cocoa, or a candy cane cocktail, as I call it. So that's my favorite new holiday tradition. Also, it's all brand new to me because my kids are out of the house now. So I've got to create, adult, that sounds weird, but adult tradition. So yes, it's cocktails and sitting by the fire with my wife and reading and just really embracing the spirit of love and joy. My most treasured holiday memory of all time, however, goes all the way back to 1994. I was 16 years old and I spent my first ever Christmas full stop in the world of Christmas. I grew up Jewish. I am Jewish. My girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, was Catholic, and she invited me to midnight mass. I went, did the whole Christmas Eve stocking thing. The family gave me a stocking. I was like, this is amazing. And I just fell in love with all of it, the trees, the gifts, the cooking, the presents, the warmth, the joking around, the games. Granted, this was before cell phones were like the thing, but we all bonded, and I wasn't a stranger. I wasn't their daughter's boyfriend. I was part of the family. And I was like, this is the most beautiful, this is the spirit of the season. This is everything to me. So every year since then, I've just looked back to that sort of defining moment of Christmas is awesome. Christmas is awesome. I love it.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, Maddie, it's your turn.
That's a tough act to follow. Jeez, Jonathan.
Do it. I know you can.
Jeez. But so speaking about a most recent transition, because I am in between Miami and Washington, D.C., it makes it a little tough during the holidays in terms of having a sense of permanence and really being able to decorate and set up the houses. So what I decided to do was something that was reflective of my career, and it's fashion. So we happen to have in our living room a mannequin. So since last year, we made this a tradition of us dressing the mannequin in a green dress, me inviting my girlfriends and my sisters over, and then they decorate it with ornaments. So everybody can bring their own ornaments. So it gives a piece of uniqueness, and it's really reflective of, how eclectic and colorful my friends happen to be. So we really make a good time of it and have a few drinks, okay? So, and I would say in terms of my childhood, so I actually happened to go to a boarding school for a little while from the age of 12 up until 17. So in that, I really didn't see my parents or my family, but maybe a few times a year. And in that, because of that, my mom started to make it a really big deal in terms of the holidays that we actually did have time together. And I remember being 12, coming home, and I turned on the lights into my bedroom, and there's a large TV. Because somehow in some conversation we had maybe months prior, she just remembered it. And she always loved that element of surprise. And that was something that just stuck with me. Now, weirdly enough, as an adult, I kind of don't like surprises because I have control issues. But back then it was always cool because it kind of came off as though it's like a scavenger hunt, if you will. That, oh, what is she going to surprise me with this year? So that's something that I really appreciate and want to keep going once I start having children of my own. Yes.
That's so special. So special. And I identify with the type A all the way. So I got you there. I got you there. I got you. So Priscilla, how about you?
So I think a tradition that we had last year, but it's been the tradition that we've had every year, and we've actually been able to maintain it this year, is picking out our tree. We have this battle every year between me and my husband. Are we going to have a real tree or not a real tree? And he's always the not real tree, the artificial tree, and we always win. So we always get our tree. So it's a tradition that we get our hot cocoa. It started off actually, before we had kids, and we get our hot cocoa, and then we go shopping for our tree. We pick the perfect tree, bring it home, and decorate it. And then we say something that we're thankful for as we put the star on top of the tree. And we've been able to last year we did that, and we've done that year before with our kids, and it's made it more and more special having kids. And so they look forward to it. They look forward to their cocoa. This year was a little different, but we made it happen. In regards to my childhood, I think I kind of go along with Jonathan. I think the true memories are being with other people, and then the spirit of Christmas itself. You know, the 24th, the day before Christmas. That's the tradition that I grew up with, waiting for Santa, and when I was little, and then as an adult, seeing the kids wait for Santa that night, trying to stay up until midnight, and being able to open one gift at midnight that was not from Santa but from your parents. And I think that's been such a beautiful memory that I remember, and I've carried on to my kids too.
That's great. That's wonderful. So a past memory, I'm going to show this. I got them out. So these are vintage ornaments made by, yes, yours truly, Ponytail Girl and Snowman Man. That's the official name. And I made these with my mom, I think when I was 4 or 5. And these are very precious now because my mom passed away last year. And so hanging them on the tree is very special. So that is really wonderful. And every year I try to, my headset's coming off here. I wear hearing aids, so I gotta wear a headset. And I got my teal heart hat going on. And then a new tradition is every year I try to get something that's very inexpensive but silly. And I send that to closest friends and family. And this year's gift, I think everybody has it, so I'm not blowing it right now, are these light up cups. So they change color. Let's see, of course it's teal. Let's see, oh, here, I don't know if you can tell. Orange and pink and rainbow, and of course, so yes, so that would be my new tradition. So, okay, that was awesome. All right, we're going to the second question, and the second question is, how are you gonna celebrate the holidays this year? So, Jonathan, back to you.
It's going to be weird. My eldest daughter is off at college. My youngest is with my ex. So we're going to just be me and my wife. We've already decorated the tree. We are eschewing gifts this year. We've made some nice donations. We thought that was probably the best way to go. I made a nice donation to both my daughters for Christmas. They're at an age where they just want cash, and you're like, all right, that's easy. It's a little boring, but it's easy. So yeah, I think this year it's going to be a real laid back. I think we're really looking forward to disconnecting in this Zoom world where we were just on 24/7 since March, to be able to just turn everything off, turn off the devices, turn off the television, and just enjoy each other's company. I think it's almost an anti-plan, but that is our plan this year, to celebrate just the two of us, some nice food, some nice drink, and no electronic distractions.
Wonderful. Okay, Maddie, how about you?
I'm so excited for the holidays this year because for the first time in about a year, all of my sisters are actually in the same space, same area together. My sister got stuck in London in April. So from there, none of us have all fully been together at the same time. So now they're making their way down to Miami with me, and we're going to make a girls' weekend of it, and do everything that comes along with it, all the shenanigans that happens when you're with your siblings. And that's going to be our holidays. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to it because I love my family to death. So.
Did you say 6?
No, I have 2 sisters and my niece. So I consider her
6 total. Oh, I thought you were saying you had 6 sisters. I was like, what?
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord, no. It's enough having 2. But yes, it's just the 3 of us. So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Fantastic.
Well, that's funny that you said that because my tradition is usually I spend, as I mentioned, Christmas Eve with my extended family, and my mom has 6 sisters and 2 brothers, so it's a very extended situation. But and I'm an only child, so yeah, it's funny because this year,
okay, yeah.
So it's going to be different. It's going to look different. Obviously, I'm not going to see, especially some of my cousins, and actually they're first responders too, so they're not going to even see their parents. But in saying that, I am going to be able to see my parents. So it's going to be a small situation. It'll be my parents, my husband, and my kids. I think the cool thing is that they're so little that right now is like that, being able to celebrate the night before and seeing them get excited about Santa. You know, if you go online, there's like this Santa tracker. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like it's great. We look at it every time to see where Santa is and when he's gonna kind of guesstimate when he's gonna get here. And we bake cookies, you know, that are allergy friendly for Zachy, and make sure that Santa gets a piece of cookie so he leaves nice gifts. And then we always remember the carrot for the reindeers. So we make sure we leave that out. Yeah, we leave that out for them. So, you know, so it's going to be a very much more intimate Christmas with a lot fewer of us than we normally spend with. But I think I'm just kind of like Jonathan and Maddie were saying, I think it's going to be a great one.
You lead right into the next question about what is your favorite food allergy friendly treat. So like what you were saying, and then how old are your kids again, Priscilla?
So I have a 3-year-old and I have a 8-year-old.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Food allergy friendly treats. Jonathan, you're up.
Well, I'll actually be making, taking the Christmas hat off and my Hanukkah hat back on, my world famous latkes, which I do dairy free and wheat free. I mean, which is pretty easy because it's basically potatoes. Usually it's potatoes and eggs. Just take the eggs out and use a little aquafaba, but I'll be making my latkes. And I also do a nice homemade applesauce with it, which is just delightful. The secret of my applesauce is bourbon. I'll share you the recipe later.
This is definitely an over 21 episode. Okay.
Love it.
Okay, Maddie, what about you? What is your favorite food allergy friendly treat?
So for me, I make my own homemade cranberry sauce. I absolutely love cooking. And just in terms of being transparent, my mother actually had been diagnosed with dementia about 5 years ago. And so really with me, cooking, it brings forth that connectivity with her. So it just reminds me of that because she actually taught me how to do it. So that's my thing. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So can't wait to make it.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I got you. Mom had cancer and dementia. So I feel you and I hear you. And yeah, so it's bringing those traditions alive and try to crossing over from the sad parts to the happy parts. And
yes.
Really,
and you know what? And that's the interesting thing,
yeah.
that you find those means of being able to find, to keep it going, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that in terms of my niece and my nephew, that I showed them the recipes that my mom taught me when I was, you know, a child. So we keep it going in our own way. Yeah.
That is tremendous. Okay, Priscilla, you told us a little bit about, you do the some foods and cookies and carrots for the reindeer, but any other special treats that you do?
Well, I think it's really interesting because, and like what you said, Maddie, it's all about creating memories, right? You're making those special times through food, and we often do that. Yeah, we do our cookies, we do all that. You know, I think what's kind of neat is like the candy canes and a lot of those things are kind of allergy friendly. So we're at that age that it's great to have around. You know, I think the first couple of years being, especially since I have little kids, I mean, they're pretty young, you know, first couple of years I went from a tradition of revolving around food to like trying to stay away from it. And now we embrace it. You know, it's like this transition that you go through and we embrace it and we take control over it. And we say, okay, food isn't scary. We just got to identify what's the best for us. And I've tried to, you know, carry that philosophy kids and for my son Zachy, who, you know, and he loves it. We get cookbooks. He has his own cookbooks and we make sure that not only we're doing the cookies and he's adding to it and we're doing other sweet treats and all that. So there's so many different recipes that we use, but I know that the night before on Christmas Eve, we're definitely cooking some really sweet tooth items. So a lot of stuff to eat here.
One thing you mentioned before about your debate with the real tree or the fake tree, it's interesting. We were always a real tree family, but then our oldest had allergies, not only food allergies, but environmental allergies and asthma. And the real tree caused him to have a reaction. So we switched from the real tree to the fake tree because, you know, we adapt. That's what we do, right? So we switched that. But from a food perspective, we always make these little mini apple pies. I got these dishes and everybody gets one. And usually what ends up happening is if someone doesn't want to make one, they'll say, Denise or Anthony's, can you make my pie for me? So that you either make it yourself or Anthony's will make it for you. But it's really fun. It's just like a fun little thing. And we always make it allergy friendly and everybody can decide how much cinnamon to put in or not or whatever else. So it's a fun little treat that we do. So
That's awesome. One thing to throw in there, actually for you, Priscilla, you mentioned candy canes. They are typically allergy friendly, but you need to check your labels, specifically because candy canes are often made on mixed use factory lines, specifically because they're seasonal. So a lot of the
You're
candy canes
absolutely
from,
right.
yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. And yeah, so I mean, and while we're enjoying our cocktails and talking about cocktails, obviously we're adults, so we can have them. But that's another thing, and it's always been on the list for food allergy families. Once you're 21, to really take caution and be careful about what you're drinking, making sure if you are 21, you've read. And unfortunately, not all alcohol, very few, as a matter of fact. Maybe that's the next thing Fair will do. Have labels that represent the allergens that could be, you know, they're infused different types of vodkas and different types of beers. And so you just want to be super, super careful and not take a sip unless you're 21 and unless you've checked what it is and what's in it. So we don't want any extra allergic reactions happening. Okay, so on to the next question. Let's see, where are we? We are, what kind of new memories do you think you will do in 2021? Jonathan?
that is a great question. So I'm hoping to get myself a guitar in 2021, which might seem like a weird thing because I've got enough hobbies and obviously Fair keeps me very busy. That's right, Fair, you keep me very busy. But I would love this time next year to be able to rock out to the Low Straight Jackets cover of, I don't know, Little Drummer Boy or Frosty the Snowman. They do a great rockabilly cover, and I desperately want to learn how to play it. So I hope that I can create a new tradition next year of playing some Christmas songs. Because I know I can't sing them, but I might be able to play them.
Maddie, any new traditions or things you'll do this year?
So for this year, I've just started a new initiative. It's called the Youth Holiday Gift Back. And essentially what we're doing is we're providing gift totes to 20 families throughout the city where we're actually going to hand deliver it to them between the 20th and the 22nd. So I say all that to say, because I mean, the bags are going to be robust. They're filled with toiletries, they're filled with food items, they're filled with a lot of good stuff. And that's a memory and a tradition I want to keep going forward. So 2021, to really build it to bigger and better. So instead of 20, we're going to have 200 next year. You got to speak it into existence, right?
Oh, that's lovely. That's wonderful. And how do people find out about that?
So right now, it's solely driven off of social media, but I do have a write-up regarding that. So if you just visit my website, MadiCooks.com, or visit me also on social media, IG, it's going to be _it's Madi, or have all the information for you. And if you want to donate, you're more than willing to do so. Yep.
That's wonderful. Okay, how about you, Priscilla? 2021, what's happening?
2021, I can't wait for a lot of these things to unfold and for us to be able to get out again. And I think one of the things that I've realized this year is that I really appreciate getting out. And I've you know, what we've done as a family, we haven't really taken too many vacations or gone different places because we're always like, oh, we're so busy. But I think what we've learned this year is that we got to make time because you never know. So the goal for next year is to do some little bit of traveling, you know, around the state if we're allowed to, and you know, show some new places to my sons and just have some family time.
That's great. I think family time is the name of the game, at least in our family. We've had the opportunity to be together. Lucky, I mean, you know, so blessed that we can, you know, we are together, that we have food, that we are safe. You know, knock on wood, our family, our friends, you know, have been not horrendously hit. And I think that there are so many families that are just struggling. And I think that because of that, I was just talking to the family, and I think like what you said, Jonathan, kind of, you know, and again, because the kids are older, it's kind of a no presents kind of year. It's really, the presents are our presents, you know? So my son said that, like, my present is your present. And I said, I love that. Like, so I just think that, like, being together and, doing silly things like wearing, matching pajamas, which we do. And of course, I'm silly and crazy and make everybody in the family wear them. Like, okay, smile, I'll wear, but then they're always, and we always have the Santa hats. And my sister-in-law made the purple Christmas tree for me. So I think that all of the little things that you do to keep your family memories alive and continuing, and you're appreciating and you're giving back. I just, I'm so grateful to FAIR for helping our families and the board and continuing to do fun things. Jonathan for, having the ability to do like social media types of events that keep people connected. So if you are home and you're not able to get out, that like you feel like, oh, I saw her or him, or I was able to find out about some cool thing that I could get involved with. So I know I very much appreciate, being able to like meet you and talk with you and share stories. And Jonathan, what else would you like to talk about?
Well, I just wanted to throw one other thing out, which is maybe my favorite single thing about the holidays, full stop. And I say the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, it makes no difference, is the idea that they become time machines because they're all tied to a sense memory. So if you smell that cocoa, or you smell the tree, or the cookies that are baking, or whatever it is, your amazing marinades, Maddie, you are whisked away, in my case, to 1994, 95, or to the memory of Christmas morning 7 years back, where I gave my 2 daughters and my wife and myself all brand new bicycles. And I taught my youngest how to ride her bike that morning. And by noon, we were cruising around the LA River. And it doesn't take much. It's a sniff of a candy cane. And you're like time machines, like Doctor Who stuff, right? You're like, I don't know how I'm here in a house I've lived in 10 years, but I'm right there. And I love that about the holidays.
Mm-hmm. I think, ours, after we're all settled and filled and, plop down on the couch, of course you got to put on It's a Wonderful Life, and that's, that came from my stepdad. Everybody calls him Papa, and we all watch it and everybody's crying. But like, it's just this special, like you said, it's the different things that you do in your family that bring you right back. Maddie, you're shaking your head. You got some.
Yes. I mean, you know what? Moreover, I think this year above all, that I've really learned how to appreciate just life, just living, beyond it being work, beyond it being, any sort of like asinine details that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. Really truly being able to appreciate my family, being able to appreciate my friendships, because I know a lot of people have suffered loss. I have, for sure, within this year. And it puts things in perspective. So I would say with this holiday, I think I'm appreciative moreover than any that now, the lens is off. Like I'm looking at the basics. I'm just appreciative of vitality. I'm appreciative of these relationships that have been fostered. I'm appreciative of still being able to work within this particular economic climate, everything, and just really just getting back to the basics and just being thankful. So that's where my thought process regarding the holidays.
Yeah. How about you, Priscilla?
Yeah, I think Maddie said it best. Back to the basics. We realize that we don't need everything that we felt like we needed, and
Right.
And I think that the real treasures are right in front of us: our family, our friends, and those that that mean the most to us. And I think that really brings it kind of circular back to what the holiday is really about, right? It's about that, and we're just all fortunate to be able to have that and just have another Christmas and celebrate it with those that we love.
And I think that, right now being safe so that you can be with, maybe there are elderly. I know for our family, we're locking it down even more. We're in Illinois, and so my husband's parents are in their 80s and my stepdad is 76. And so to be able to get together with them, we really have to just double down on, being extra, extra safe. And following the rules, and until we're able to be out and about, like, I'm clearly an extrovert, and so all of this inside, I'm like dying to just like hug a person. I need to hug a person. So I can't, like, not being able to like hug someone and just be with people is yucky for me. I don't like it. So I get very excited when the mail lady comes by or the UPS truck or the Amazon, I'm like, hello. Like, they're like, oh my God, that crazy lady. But, you know, I'm just like saying hello is an activity for me. So
I think we're all in that. We all feel that.
Literally.
everyone's shaking their head.
Yes. But, you know, kind of counter what I'm saying too, that it's really beautiful that we do have this technology that when we can't be with, you know, those that, you know, just to be safe, we can still be with them. We just can only be with them virtually.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Right.
also.
Yeah. I was very excited all day about the fair cocktail party this evening.
I told you it was going to be a fun one.
There's always time for cocktail.
Priscilla, for what it's worth, as a parent of a 20-year-old, it goes by so quickly. And you've got such an interesting balancing act, because I remember I spent so much time taking so many photos and living behind a screen that I had to start putting it down. And then I realized I don't have those physical memories now because I put the phone down, and I'm like, did I miss an opportunity to reflect back on, both my kids were competitive gymnasts. Sometimes I didn't record it. I would just watch it so I could be present for them. But then I don't have the video, and it's like now 6 years later, like, I wish I had that video. It's just an interesting balancing act of putting the phone down and just being with the kids so you can be there as they're growing, but also like documenting every step, because there will be a time where you're going to want to look back at those photos.
It is. I think that balance, like you said, Jonathan, with the 26 and 24-year-old in our house, is, you know, as they become, they're young men, but as they are doing different things and, you know, circling back for holidays. But again, like going back, I was talking to them and I said, oh, the topic is memories. You know, what are some of the ones that you like the best? And they came up with the same ones that I came up with. But it was interesting to see if they would, you know, like, you know, make the pies. Does it mean that much to them, or does it mean more to me? Or like the silly pajamas, or my silly, weird, wacky gifts that I give every year, you know, that I challenge myself, like, I can find something for less than $5. Let's do it, you know? So like those types of things, I think it's just important to like connect with people and like meet them where they are. You know, some are sad right now and you want to lift them up, and some are happy and you're thankful and you're blessed. Like you were saying, Maddie, like some people and businesses are doing fantastically well during this time, and then others aren't making it. And so this like awkward teeter-totter that's happening, it's like you want to lift the people that you can, and you want to hopefully the people that are doing well are generous enough to give back and to help those that aren't as fortunate. So I think that the giving back part is obviously you all do that, and so I'm, you know, preaching to the choir here, but it's just lovely to hear, and always warms my heart when I hear about people giving back and doing super unique things. I love that.
Thank you. And I mean, there's a perspective that kind of comes along with that, of looking at the glass as half full. I've always been a half full type of person, and in that, I could not identify another time in my life, aside from when I was a teenager, that I actually had the time to get to know myself and start to do things that I actually enjoyed, because I never realized my life literally was surrounded around work. And so when I sat down in my confines, I'm like, okay, well, let me get to know me. What do I like? What do I enjoy? Because this is such a part of my identity, to always be on the go, always on the run, etc. And I wouldn't say that I'm grateful, you know, for people suffering. That's not the case. But I am grateful to have this time within my life right now to really get to know me and to really be able to enjoy the moment, you know? So the holiday this year is that much sweeter, simply because I can actually enjoy it, and I can actually be present during that process. So if I'm looking at it in terms of a takeaway and a different lens of viewing the situation, you know, there is a gratefulness that kind of comes along with that. And there is an underlying discovery that I gained from that too, that I'm appreciative of. I feel like I'm on a pulpit all the time.
No, I think that's so, it is so well said, because getting to know yourself, I mean, I say this to my sons all the time. It's like one of the best things that you can do is to get to know who you are and who you're not. And, you know, as an elementary school teacher, like, you know, that's just deep in my soul, like trying to help little kids understand, like, well, what do you like? Just because Janie likes that doesn't mean you have to. Like, I like purple. You don't have to. That's fine. This is me. what is you? Like in developing,
Sure.
you know, I think that, you know, right now with technology and everyone wanting to know what everybody is doing, having a sense of self is so important. It's always been important, but I think even more so now with the psychological natures of, you know, the world. Obviously, Jonathan is all in the creative, but like, you know, the flash and the fun and that's great, but also being true to like who you are in your heart, I think is really super important.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask one question of the group? I'd love to go around and hear what your favorite Christmas songs are.
Favorite songs?
Favorite Christmas songs, yeah. Or holiday songs.
Favorite
It's
Christmas
probably going to be
song.
Christmas, though.
Let's see. Who's got one? Who's got one? Who wants to start?
So I grew up always with the Chipmunks. You know the Chipmunks, yeah, and I don't know what song it is. It's just like all the songs they sing, but that whole album, I love it. And the kids, like we play it over and over again. I think it's more. I say it's for the kids, but I think it's for me. But so that's what I like. See, it makes me feel good when I play that.
Maddie?
I love that.
Well, you know what? So Donny Hathaway happened to be one of my favorite musicians because we have the same birthday also. So his version of This Christmas is my favorite song. Yeah, so I love it.
Jonathan?
I'm going to go ahead and steal Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. That is a banger.
That's a good
It's
one.
like,
Yeah.
it may be the best Christmas song of all time. I love it.
So, and I have to go with Silent Night. And the reason that I love it so much is because my younger son is a singer, and I can hear him at 4 years old standing on the pew in church and just belting it out. And so I every time I hear the song now, I just like, I look at my husband and he's like, yep, I hear it too. Like that was when we first thought like, oh, maybe he can sing. So probably that's the song that I like because it reminds me of him.
Oh, so is he
That's
currently
beautiful.
singing now? Is he working within that industry?
So he actually, he was a musical theater econ major at Northwestern. So he's a little of both brains, you know. And so he sings and he plays the piano. But actually, Jonathan taught himself to play the guitar. And during this COVID time, so that was kind of funny when you said that. So he sings for fun, but not as a profession. So I'm always like, please, will you sing?
So I have a question for Jonathan.
A few tunes.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a question for Jonathan. I want to know where you got your sweater.
Amazon.com.
I love it.
I'm a big fan of this sweater because it's ridiculous. Also, my daughter's nickname was Chicken. So it's my little ode to her.
Oh.
The chicken and the jelly bean. I couldn't find a jelly bean sweater.
So Jonathan, in my family, because I was an elementary school teacher, I dress still like an elementary school teacher. So every holiday I have whatever holiday sweater is on. So when they started saying like ugly sweaters, I was like, I think all of those are beautiful. None of those are ugly to me. And my family's like, oh my God, Mom. But that's okay. To own.
That might be the most Denise phrase ever. Yes, those sweaters probably are beautiful to you.
I mean, they are beautiful to me.
I mean, to be fair, I got a compliment at Starbucks today with this, and I was like, all right. And it wasn't sarcastic. It was like, really like that sweater. I'm like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Wonderful.
Quite festive.
Okay, so, oh my goodness, everyone, I am so happy and so blessed and so thank you. This time always goes by way too quickly, and it's really been a privilege to get to know you a little bit better and also to share this special time with you and some holiday cheer, of course. And then for everyone, I want to make sure that we're sending love, rainbows, laughter, gratitude for all, and especially to those healthcare workers. And to everyone, please, please stay safe. We love you, take care, and check us out, foodallergy.org. Take care for next season. Check us out in 2021. Bye.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy
Merry Christmas.